Hello and welcome to the Unc Rye Show from beautiful Southside Muncie, Indiana. As you can see behind me, it is Christmas season right now. Got the tree up in the background. It's a few days past Christmas. I'm kind of chilling during my time off work and have a little vacation for another week or so. But when I'm taking my vacation time, I usually try to get a lot of projects done. And today I have a big project. Today I'm going to do a little work on Nathan's behalf. He is visiting his mother for a few days, and while he is out, I am going to make a slight update to his workbench, and I am going to build bins for all of his new tools that he got for Christmas. So we'll take a look at some of his new tools, and we'll start cutting some wood and screwing things together and do a little update to his workbench to surprise him when he gets back. Alright, so here I am in Nate's room / workshop. As you can see, Nate has a workbench in his room. That may be a little different, but it's his hobby and he really likes to make things. And so in order to facilitate that, we have a nice scroll saw right here, nice bench vise right over here, which I think you can see on the screen. And then for Christmas, he got a bunch of new tools to complement the ones that he already has. Even though you can't see them on the workbench, he already has a bunch of screwdrivers and things like that. But this year he got a whole bunch more stuff for Christmas. And he got some new clamps. I'm going to set those up there. Got new set of, we'll turn this way, new set of wrenches, both metric and standard, and a screwdriver set. And I've thrown all this stuff on top because we're going to make storage bins on top for all this stuff. Oh no, almost fell off and hit me. Then we have a plier set, 6-piece. Very nice. We have all types of files. We have even more files. These are of the smaller variety. Then we have hex key sets, and we have locking pliers, and of course we have sockets, and then we have metric wrenches, and last but not least we have a nice folding hex key set. So, with all of that stuff, what we're going to do, we're running out of storage space on the workbench. We need room to work anyways. Plus, how could I forget? Let me run to the other room. There's one other thing that we have to show that goes on the workbench here in a little bit. We need to make room for a brand new belt sander. However, that is not part of today's project. Today's project is to create storage bins or some way to organize stuff on top of the workbench. So what we're going to do is we're going to take pieces of wood like this and we're going to cut them. And then when we cut them, we're going to go and put those on top kind of long ways like this and make bins, and I'll adjust the camera so you can see that better. And each one will be a place to put the different types of tools so that they're all in one spot and you can just reach up on top and get them whenever you want. Let's get ready to get down to business. We're going to use the scroll saw. This is 2x3. It cuts pretty easy with the scroll saw. So we're going to do that. Always, always, whoops. Always, always, always wear your safety glasses. That is very, very important. So now that we're all set, we're going to cut our first piece, and I'm going to move the camera slightly and give you a better idea of what we're doing and go from there. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is cut a board that runs the length of the top. This is really something today, but I cannot find a tape measure anywhere. And I don't know what happened to them. I have searched everywhere, and even though I'm almost waist deep in tools, there is no tape measure. So I don't know, but what there is a measuring tape that you can use to do alterations to clothing, and I suppose that will work for today. So we want to see how far across this is, we're going to cut a board to fit. So that is 48 inches. So now, if I get a board right over here. Alright, let's measure this piece and see how it fits. We want 48 inches, and so we will take this and see, starting at that end, down to here, it is just about 2 inches too long. So I'm going to push that down there, and I'm going to mark it right there where I want to cut it. And then I'm going to cut that end right off with the saw. Alright, now we're ready to cut. So, right there, I have my line where I want to cut it. I'm going to put it on the bench, make sure the saw is adjusted properly, which it is. Alright, so with these you have a foot switch that allows you to turn this on and off. So I'm going to go ahead, demonstrate. I'm going to kick it on with my foot right now. I'm going to turn it back off with my foot right there. So when you're cutting, you can pay close attention to what you are doing and make sure that your focus is where it should be on the cutting, and you can control the power with your foot. So with that said, I'm going to kick this on. I'm going to cut the end. There we go. And some stuff fell on the floor too while I was at it, but that's okay. Alright, so this should fit right across the top. How about that? Perfect fit. Now this piece is actually going to go at the back. So what I'm going to do is take this and put it towards the back so that the tools don't fall off the back. Because these bins don't need to be very deep, they just need to be up there so that you can put the tools in each slot. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust the camera so you can see on top here after we cut a few more pieces, and then we will be ready to go. And what we're going to do now is we are going to take this drill and we're going to put a bit in that drill. It's a screwdriver bit like that, and we're going to drive in the screws to hold that piece in place. So here we go. Alright. Now, I'm going to take that, take one of these very nice, very cool gold screws, and we're going to screw this in place. And I would like to point out while I'm at it that this is a project where function is more important than precision. As long as this is about right, that's good enough because we're just using it to hold tools. Alright, so there's that. Alright, there's one piece in place. Now let's do the other side. Now we need to take these, put them back like that, you see, and then chop it off right here and make different sections that are bins to put everything in. So I'm going to go ahead and start measuring and cutting those here in just a minute. Alright, so it turns out that each one, I have to scrunch down. So, get right up on the screen. So as it turns out, each one of these pieces that I need to cut needs to be 13 1/4 inches. So I went ahead and measured that right out on the board, and now I'm going to cut them. Alright, so I think we got it ready to go, ready for final assembly. Now I just have to screw each one of these pieces in, and I made a mark for where the middle's at, and I'm going to take the middle here and split it, put this one right in the middle of these two pieces, and then I'm going to put 4 pieces on this side for smaller tools. So let's do it. We will get a different drill only because my battery went dead on my other drill. I thought it was charged up, but I guess not. So I'll put the first screw right there in the pre-drilled hole. And wish me luck because I don't want to get smacked in the face if this board comes around. Well, got one done. Now, put the front end over here. Now that could have been very bad. Alright, 2 done. Alright, and there we go. We have bins for all the tools now. Now it's just a matter of putting them all away. And of course, I will leave that to Nate, but just to give you an idea, toss those wrenches in there, but I think we need to put those over there, right? And we can toss those tools right there, and we can toss those right there, and so on and so forth. I think you get the idea. Throw some clamps down there, and we'll take this big thing of screwdrivers, put that right there. How about that? Got a nice area to set our tools while we work and keep things out of the way and keep them uncluttered. So, that's good for now. My next thing I want to do is put some shelves in the bathroom while I'm feeling handy today. Alright, my last task I need to do today before I can relax is to hang a shelf. I'm going to hang this shelf right here, and the way that I'm going to do that, in the back of the shelf, it has 2 holes in it, and I'm going to hang it up on the wall like this. I'm going to check to make sure it's level using this tool, and I'm going to use my trusty drill, the light on it, to drill it in, and I have to drill a hole to put a plastic insert like that in the wall, and then when I do that, then I can put the screw in it and hang the shelf up. So if all goes well, I'll get this shelf hung up. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to set some things down. So now if I look here, I have a bigger wall than what you can see on the camera, but I'm going to go ahead and center where it looks right to me, which would be right about there. I'm going to put it down just a hair. Right there. How's that? It looks good when you have the big picture. It's a little off center on the video camera, but that's okay. We'll go with that. It looks good in the room. So with this, when it's level, the bubble, see the bubble move back and forth? When it's level, the bubble is between 2 black lines that you might not be able to see on the camera. But when I set it right here, I can move this and check, and that bubble is just where it should be. It says that this is level, which is kind of weird because it actually doesn't look that level to me, but it says that it is, so we will go with that. And so, what I'm going to do is take my pencil, and I'm going to mark on the wall right where the holes go for to be drilled. And I almost dropped something on my toe right there, but fortunately I didn't, or I would have screamed if I did. So now let's take the drill the holes. Here goes the first one. Now how about that? That's not supposed to happen. Apparently, my drill was not nearly as tight as it should have been, and that has never happened before. Alright, there's one hole. Now I'm going to take my plastic insert. I'm going to stick it in that hole. Oh, almost fits. It's just off by a hair. Alright, one is in. Now let's do the other one. There we go. Let's take another plastic insert. I just dropped the screw. Let's go ahead and hammer those in right now. Alright, perfect. Now, what we need to do is put screws in those, and then we'll hang the shelf from it. We'll be done. Okay, normally I use my drill to put screws in, but today I'm going to use my screwdriver just so I don't have to change my drill bit. So, because I'm going to leave that in for another project here a little later. But one that I'll save for next show. Alright, I'm going to step over here where I can see what I'm doing. We'll screw that in. Okay, there's one in. Let's get the other one. Okay, that looks about right. See if we did this right. Oh, let's see. Let's get our shelf. We'll go right there, right there. Pull down. How about that? The shelf is level on the wall. It looks a little unlevel on the camera. I think my camera might be off a hair. There we go. Let me rest that right there. There we go. I have a shelf for my screwdriver. So that's how to hang a shelf. I hope you have an awesome time, and I will see you on the next show.